Hi everyone, welcome back. Firstly, apologies for this video being sideways, but that's just the way it is, and I still hope to inspire you. Recently, I've been making a lot of these tiny journals, mainly for Christmas gifts, but also because I love them so much. So I've been playing around and trying to find new and interesting closures, and these are the ones that I came up with. And for this one, I thought I'd take you along for the ride and show you how I do it. So I have this piece of brown cardstock, which is just a little bit thinner than the width of my journal and long enough to wrap around the length of my journal to form this kind of slide over closure. So not entirely a box, but just like a sleeve. I am, however, worried about this area where the fold is, that it won't hold up over time. So what I'll do is I'll just back it with some cotton fabric. I'll just use some PVA glue to glue the strip to the fabric, and then this is what it should look like in the end, folding around the journal and sliding off. The fabric in the back will also ensure that this area here don't get damaged from all the sliding of the sleeve. I'll just fast play through this part where I glue on the cardstock to the fabric so we can get to the end result quicker. If you do decide to make this, just make sure your glue is perfectly dry before you continue. So now I'm just folding the strip around the journal to make sure it fits perfectly. And what I want is for this shorter flap to go underneath the longer flap, because the long flap needs to go all the way to the bottom of the journal. So I'm going to put glue on the outside of the short flap. I'm using a strong glue 3-in-1 to make sure it holds. Now I'm just carefully positioning the cut end of the flap to the folded end of the other side to make sure it is perfectly aligned, and then just press down to glue it in place. At this point you can remove the sleeve so that you can press it down on your work surface to make sure that glue is perfectly adhered. I should have probably covered that piece inside as well. What do they say? Hindsight is best sight. Yes, I make mistakes too, but this is totally fixable. I'll just use the little offcut piece from the cotton fabric. I'm going to cut it straight and then just cut a piece big enough to cover that area. And so just applying my PVA glue and then carefully brushing it on with a paintbrush and positioning my piece of fabric in place. And now just trimming the sides of the fabric to make sure it is in line with the previous piece. And that's the sleeve done. Now just for some decoration on the sleeve, because I don't like this bland looking sleeve. And what I was thinking was to put a little piece of gauze and this handmade flower. And now I'm just looking for something to go in the center of the flower, just auditioning some flat back pearls. And I've made my choice, so I'm going to glue everything down now. And we're done. An interesting sleeve closure for a cute little journal.